Alright folks, you know the deal. It's been a few days since Jurassic World Chaos Theory Season 3 released, and we are going to do a spoiler review, talking about some of the best moments and their ramifications for the future. If you haven't watched yet, click off this video. For the rest of you, let's do this. First things first, we need to talk about Soyana and the Handler. The tension in their relationship was handled incredibly well throughout Season 3, and I love how they symbolise technology coming up against tradition. I thought it was interesting pitting them against each other over the ownership of the Atrociraptors, and appreciated Dodgson manipulating the Handler, further adding to the tension. Her death at Soyana's hand felt like a fitting end to this arc, and this character as a whole. I really enjoyed the fact that we got to see Barry again this season. He's used to great effect to give us a flavour for the investigation into the amberclave black market before the events of Jurassic World Dominion, and also to show us some of the cleanup afterwards. Interestingly, his presence throughout the season suggests that both French intelligence and the CIA already knew that Biosin was shady, suggesting to me that if the third act of Dominion hadn't unfolded the way it did, Biosin Valley may very well have been raided in due course anyway. It will be interesting to see if the next season of Chaos Theory chooses to build on this idea. Now guys, I've been talking quite a bit at this point. I'm starting to get a bit thirsty working on this review. Perhaps it's time for a smoothie. Jokes aside, and that was a really bad one, Bumpy's new baby is an adorable addition to the animal roster at Chaos Theory. I loved all of the scenes he was in, but I particularly enjoyed his relationship with Nonna. It was a cool way of exploring how different people perceive dinosaurs in a world where they are suddenly commonplace. I'm excited to see Smoothie and Bumpy's inevitable reunion in Biosin Valley whenever we next pick up this story. Another new addition to this season was Gia, Ben's girlfriend. I love that she was a real character because many of us were doubting it, and I also loved her ambitions to become a museum curator, setting us up for a potential connection with Dr. Henry Loomis. Possibly down the line? Fingers crossed. Gia is used in an interesting way, giving us an outside perspective on the differing views the crew have about Brooklyn. Her and her Nonna not only provide fresh new characters, but they also give us new insight into normal, everyday people and how they react to dinosaurs in the wild. In addition to Gia, we also see the addition of Darby in this season, a former Brooklander and a problem for Brooklyn's undercover mission. Darby holds a mirror up to Brooklyn in a very interesting way, providing an antithesis to her and her behaviour while she has been working with Soyana Santos. It really makes us question as viewers how far we can go when investigating something dark or dangerous, and how do we avoid becoming complicit in the thing we're investigating. This story thread is handled very well. I really enjoyed how Season 3 expanded on both Dodgson and Biosin. Knowing that Biosin were the original owners of the Malta Black Market adds further depth to the biogenetics company, and it helps to show us what they may have been doing before the events of Dominion. Whilst there isn't a huge amount explored here, it does give us a good flavour for the kind of man Lewis Dodgson is, and also the things that Biosin were up to before they refocused their efforts on preserving their public image. There are several interesting themes packed into the story, from the crew's reluctance to help Brooklyn, to the relationship tensions between Sammy and Yaz. Everything here feels well thought through and emotive. The season ends with Soyana Santos apprehended by Barry, and the smuggling story arc largely wrapped up, with the crew on course for Biosin Valley to complete their investigation. I, for one, am curious to see what happens when Kenji and Sammy reunite with the others, and how these 6 people will mend their relationships and move forwards in the future whilst concluding this journey they've been on. In conclusion, the 3rd season of Chaos Theory expands on Jurassic World Dominion in exciting ways. I really enjoyed the story the writers chose to tell with this season, and I'm excited about the prospect of visiting Biosin Valley in the next instalment. Hopefully it releases fairly soon. What did you think of the 3rd season of Jurassic World Chaos Theory? Let me know what you think in the comments below, and stay tuned to the Jurassic Park Podcast for more news on the future of the show as soon as we have it.